All right, Operation Grafted Chicken is in its, I don't know, third or fourth day. So I've got the brooding hen here that I snuck 5 chicks under last night at about 10 o'clock. And I had to wait till she was good and in the nighttime trance before I could get them up under her. And it's the only good brooding hen that I have right now. So I was able to sneak those in, and then I came back and checked on it, and everything was doing good. So then I put 5 more under there, and I let that go until morning because I didn't want to have a catastrophe and lose everything. So this morning I came out here, and the chicks were all out of the box. And so they were hiding different places. So I was worried that she wasn't going to take them. She chased them out of there, and they just moved into one of the other brooder boxes temporarily, probably because it's warm enough outside, I'm guessing. And then I noticed that the chicks were starting to travel back and forth underneath the mother hen. So I was happy about that. And then I got a water thing set up in here. One of the problems of trying to put feed and water inside here is the adult chickens will go after that as well. So I got to keep my eye on it and make sure that stays going. And then over here, I put my brooder plate in and stuck an additional water dish in case some of the chickens get separated in nighttime and need a place to find that's warm and safe. So they got a plate to crawl under, and they have water there that's available. And unfortunately, that's one of the nest boxes that a lot of the chickens have been laying in lately, so they keep going in there investigating to see if they can't lay an egg where they've been laying at, but hopefully they'll find a new spot. And this brooding hen right here, I tried to get her into the brooding box inside the house, and I covered her head, took her in that night, and then covered the brooding box to keep any light from getting in there, and I left them in there for 12 hours. And she ended up stepping on one of the chicks and killing it. And then when morning came and I tried to let some light in there to change out the feed and everything, she started pecking at the chicks and rejected them. So I went ahead and took her out of there and left the chicks in the inside brooder for another day. But I think what I'm going to have to do probably is get a separate structure just for this process of getting the chicks to bond with the mom, and maybe put AC and heat in there so I can control the temperature. And as long as the temperature is controlled, I should have a good survival rate. But right now, this is the perfect time of year. Not too hot, not too cold for the chicks to be able to survive. We got into the high 80s, low 90s during the day, upper 60s in the night. So they have a really good chance of being able to go ahead and get in here and then graft to a mother. And then some of them may, in the nighttime, find another hen to crawl up under. And I've seen other hens adopt chicks just because they crawled underneath that mother. So I have had that happen before, but part of the reason I'm recording this is because every time I do this, it seems like it turns out just a little bit different, and I'm trying to come up with a good system. And so I'm just documenting what I do each time because I tend to forget what I do from one time to the next. So this mama hen was meaner than heck, and I could not get her to do anything that I wanted her to do. And she would peck the snot out of the chicks the first time I put them under there. She just totally rejected them and would peck at me, peck at everything. And she's been in this box for over a month now, and she just absolutely refuses to leave. So I thought I was going to either have to go ahead and butcher her or separate her out or something if she wasn't going to work out. But it seems like her instincts have finally kicked in, and she's able to at least sit on the chicks. I don't know. Normally, once they get them in there, they'll start hopping out and showing the chicks how to find food and find water, and they'll start taking them around. but she hasn't even moved yet, so we'll see what happens with that. But they got a couple safe places to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and run with that. And then the other thing I may do is I might throw a small dog kennel in here that the chicks can get in and out of, but the big birds can't, and that'll give them a place to hide. And then I'll probably stick their food and water in there, just to keep them from getting pecked up. But I tend to want to start them in this, and unfortunately with my big long ramp there, they'll get down the ramp and they can't figure out how to get back up it. So that's one issue that I'm trying to figure out how to solve, and one of the reasons I'm thinking about doing a separate box just for the babies and the mothers, so that they can be on the ground in a climate controlled building, and then I can control when they come out, and they can come out together once they get big enough. But these little buggers are growing pretty strong and healthy pretty fast. Yesterday I took and made a bunch of scrambled eggs and chopped them up real fine and put it in with their feed, and they went right for that. So they got lots of good protein in them, lots of good energy, and hopefully they'll be growing strong and surviving any cold that they have to. And they huddle together to stay warm too, so I got enough of them in here for good body heat. Once you get down to like 4 or 5 chicks, it just seems like they have trouble keeping warm, and the ones on the edge tend to get too cold at night and die. So far so good. If I need to give an update, I will.